Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri 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 Ram 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 Jai
Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Ram Om. Shri Ram Shri Ram Ram Om. Shri Ram Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram
Yeah, that is how it goes and becomes portrait again and again.
Jai
I don't know why.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai
Why
Jai
is it so?
I don't know. It just keeps changing the settings. For some reason, it is very moody these days, Samjit.
Like you and me.
Ah,
Naturally.
maybe today.
We are moody people.
It's
So
very hot now, so it's feeling hot also.
oh,
Samjit.
acha. Come on, okay, I loved it.
It's not coming.
We are decided. We are just.
Now it won't get me synced. See?
I don't know. It will block, you know.
Oh. Oh, that's why.
Ah. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. What is the portion we read in the morning, you remember?
Morning. Question answers.
Nobody remembers.
While doing Guru Mantra, Hari Hari.
Hari Hari.
Question answer.
Hari Hari. Hari Hari. November 1981. So that means first. November 3rd. Morning reading, when we all assemble here at about 6:30, as we said, we used to read what is the message Mataji is giving to us. So this was the portion we read out. Sure. Six p.m. Papa's room. Papa's book Divine Life, volume number 2 was about to be read by a retired railway official, Hariharan, who had been living in the ashram for some time then. Now Mataji asked Sri Ram to take over the reading. Mataji to Hariharan, what delights you more, to do the reading of Papa's books or to listen to them being read? Both give equal pleasure, Mataji. There is a special reason for my asking you this question. Tell me again, in what do you find great joy? Reading Papa's words yourself or listening to them? In listening to Papa's word, there is a greater joy, Mataji. Smiling happily. That is good. When I asked you this question, is there are some who say they find more joy in reading for themselves. They say as they go on reading more and more, the words written by Papa make a gradual impress on their mind, making them go within, and they are able to concentrate on the fundamentals of what Papa has written, though they may not remember everything that Papa has said. There are some who read Papa's words only superficially, and on them it makes no impress at all. Similarly, there are devotees who, listening to Papa's words, get lost in their contemplation as the words sink in their mind. So there are three states. Which state do you prefer? Hariharan. Listening to Papa's words, Mataji, after some interval, I have one question to ask of Mataji. Now I do japa with the Tulsi Mala for an hour during the day. That time when my fingers go on turning the beads and my lips chant the name, my mind wanders in 1,000 directions. Is this better, or would it be better for me to spend the same hour in thinking of Papa's divine attributes? The answer is very, very important. You should do both together. Even while chanting the Guru Mantra, you should bring to mind Papa's divine attributes and keep telling your mind, Papa, thou art eternal, thou art infinite, thou art merciful, and so on. Otherwise, mere chanting of Ramnam by lips while the mind goes here and there is of no use. Either you recall to mind Papa's various attributes or tell your mind that wherever it wanders, there stands Papa. That was the way Papa had taught me to do. It may not be easy in the beginning, but by and by you can attune your mind to the thought that you are taking the name of all-pervading, all-merciful, universal, infinite Papa. Now when you call somebody dear to you by his name, the moment you utter his name, or even if you refer to someone dear to you, don't that person's face and form come before your mind? Here when you take Papa's name, you should become accustomed to bringing Papa's divine attributes into your mind. Once you start doing it, this becomes easier and easier until finally Papa's eternal form is not the form. Eternal form is permanently stamped in your mind. This is Sakshatkar. So we all come across this challenge. We do chant, but while chanting the name, we have not been used to remember about his attributes. Or big words. He is eternal, all-pervading, all-merciful. We may just repeat one or two. Again the mind will go out. Because it is not linked to the theme. Mind is not linked to the theme. Papa Mataji could do it because they had, even as a sadhaka, they were in a different level. So what do we do now? Mataji makes it clear that unless this Nama chanting goes along with this, it will be of no use. So one thing could be this, big attributes, forget about it. The one which we understand. Like I am chanting the name of one who is making me to see, making me to hear, making me to taste, making me to touch, making me to smell, making me to think. So these are all the things which I know. So 10 times when we repeat, we will start thinking, oh, there's a power behind this, the eyes to see that. And then another clue, even if the mind goes out, Wherever it goes, we have to bring him into the picture, because there is nothing that is not God's. So then why should we think that it has gone elsewhere? Please think about it. Which means that there is no difference between sadhana and life. As long as we feel sadhana is separate from our common life, this problem will be there. He is making me to go to washroom. He is making me to take bath. He is making me to cut vegetables. He is making me to cook. Like that. He is making me to dress. He is making me to put the pen. He is making me to lock. He is making me to keep the... Like that. So that the sadhana does not get separated from our daily routine. Wherever Papa, or tell your mind that wherever it wanders, there stands Papa. Papa means that God, not this form only, eternal Papa. So this is what today morning. And then, in order that the mind builds on these attributes, in order that the mind accepts everything as it is, the present mind has to go through a refinery. And that is why he is prompting us to go and again on this refinery aspect through Bhagavad Gita. Some instrumental cause should be there enough. So for the past 2-3 months now, he has been engaging us on this. So let us not separate this. To remember him, we need the proper mindset. So that is what is called refining. So with that background, we will go through. Yesterday we covered some, but again we will go through for the sake of those who are hearing it for the first time. Many devotees revere Srimad Bhagavad Gita, yet its wisdom often remains separate from daily life. This may be because its teachings seem distant from everyday experience. To bridge this gap, let us first understand how the Gita serves as a timeless refinery, transforming our thoughts, words and deeds to align with divine awareness. That is the important thing. Mataji said, to align ourselves with God. Everywhere is only He. By the word Papa means here, divinity. So to bridge this gap, let us first understand how the Gita serves as a timeless refinery, transforming our thoughts, words and deeds to align with the divine awareness. Nature has gifted us an extraordinary ability to refine experiences within our own system. Yet life today is filled with crudity. Crudity in our relationship, actions, thinking. This arises when we fail to use our body-mind complex as a refinery of experience. Just as raw materials are refined to produce something valuable, our thoughts, words and deeds should be subjected to a process to bring out qualities such as love, compassion, peace, efficiency and dedication. The essential question before us is, how can we go ahead with this refining process? Step by step, the Gita teaches us to build strong character and personality by refining our psychophysical energy system. This faculty, comprising intelligence, discrimination, will and emotion, is a powerful tool for human growth. By refining our inner energy, we cultivate creativity, courage, determination, focus, innovation. The Bhagavad Gita gradually strengthens our psycho-physical energy system, helping us regulate impulsive reactions, make wiser choices, avoid regret. Whatever we are using it, no, today, all the creature comforts, whether it is a laptop, whether it is computer, whether it is mic, whether it is anything, Wi-Fi. Everything has come from intelligence. That intelligence means only by refining our psycho-physical energy system, it can come out. The next example, we will find that. For example, in June 2012, Urmila Yadav, a senior pilot with Alliance Air, handled with equanimity the most alarming situation caused by the loss of nose wheel on the plane. She did not get agitated in these trying moments, and with a calm, cool, courageous mindset, made a safe landing by manipulating independently the controls of the aircraft, thus safeguarding the lives of 48 passengers. So the confidence builds up, courage, confidence, everything builds up only because it has undergone a refinery. Thus the path of refinement is not an intellectual pursuit, it's a practical way of living, leading to clarity, harmony and excellence in all aspects of life. Here it is fitting to recall the words of beloved Papa. We have the magnificent book of nature spread out before us, a picture of unsurpassing beauty and charm, the spontaneous and blissful self-expression of the indwelling God. Let us look at it, read in it the glorious presentation and the varied variety of the Beloved. Look on the infinite play of the Infinite One, and by deep absorption in the Beloved, universal being, enjoy immortal joy. This is the goal, all else is ephemeral, not worth striving for. As a starting point, one shloka has been selected from each chapter. When deeply contemplated, these verses reveal profound insights that serve as guiding lights in refining the mind. Their essence is illustrated through examples from Mother Nature and daily life, making the process of transformation both relatable and practical. These similes serve as bridges, allowing seekers to see the Gita's wisdom reflected in nature and daily life. So, first chapter number 1, shloka number 21 and 22. सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रतं स्थापय मे अच्युता यावदेतान् निरीक्ष्येऽहं योद्धुः कामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया.
Bhavani aunty is struggling to read it. Bhavani aunty is struggling to read it. To read it, no? I'll just make it a little bigger.
कैर्मया सहयोद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणं समुद्यमे, correct. In the midst of two armies, Arjuna says to Krishna, place my chariot so that I may behold those who stand here, desirous to fight, and on the eve of battle let me know with whom all must I fight. So when we read this sloka, we are trying to connect up with our daily life. So this is how we approach it. There could be many, this is how we approach it. Evaluate first before plunging into action. An unrefined mind rushes into action without clarity, like an archer releasing arrows blindly. Pause, reflect, evaluate. Thoughtful action leads to better outcomes. Examples. Before a bird starts building its nest, it carefully evaluates multiple factors. It scouts different locations to find a safe and stable place, away from predators. It chooses the right materials, twigs, leaves, feathers to ensure durability. It tests the strength of branches before placing its nest to prevent collapse. If the bird rushed into building without evaluating, its nest might not withstand the wind, rain, or threats. Similarly, in life, if we act without proper thought, we may face unnecessary obstacles. Just like the bird, we must evaluate our decisions before taking action to ensure success and stability. From daily life, be cautious before crossing the street. Before crossing a busy street, a wise pedestrian first looks both ways to evaluate traffic. If they blindly step onto the road without checking, they risk danger. But by observing, analyzing, then moving at the right time, they ensure a safe passage. Likewise, before taking any action, be it in career, relationship, or decisions, evaluating first helps avoid unnecessary conflicts and failures. This is how the refinement. No? The technique has been given to us now. We are moving to chapter number 2, slogan number 48. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yogamuchyate. Establish in yoga, perform your actions, O Dhananjaya, renouncing attachment and remaining equal in success and failure. Such an even-mindedness is called yoga. Pleasure and pain, success and failure, life oscillates between extremes. A steady mind, like a well-rooted tree, remains unshaken by storms. True refinement lies in unwavering equanimity. Example, river. A river flows steadily toward the ocean, encountering rocks, fallen trees, uneven terrain along the way. It does not complain, resist, or stop. Instead, it adapts, flowing over, around, or even through obstacles while maintaining its purpose. This reflects even-mindedness, samatvam, as taught in the Bhagavad Gita, remaining steady amid success and failure, pleasure and pain, praise and blame. Like the river, we refine our thoughts and actions by not getting stuck in reactions, but by moving forward with inner stability. Tulsi Ram, a victory is just a phase. Example, Tulsi Ram, a lad of 14 years, was an upcoming tennis player, and in one of the matches organized by AITA, the opponent gave him a stiff fight. Tulsi Ram won the match, and the audience gave him a standing ovation. All the time, Tulsi Ram was equipoised, did not get exhilarated. When his excited mother rushed up to him and asked him as to why he was not excited by the win, the boy replied that his opponent too played well. He did not want to hurt the feelings of his opponent anymore after the defeat. After all, in a match only one can win, and he won. So through examples we are trying to understand. So first is sloga, identify the sloga, relate to our life, day-to-day life, and then to get more clarity, align with any of the examples which we come across. This is the study pattern. Chapter number 3, sloga number 34. इंद्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत् तौहस्य परिबन्धिनौ. Attachment and aversion are inherent in every sense object, but one should not come under their sway, for they are obstacles on the path. So remain unaffected by attraction and aversion. A crude mind is a puppet to likes and dislikes. A refined mind remains free, choosing wisdom over impulse, clarity over confusion. Example, Mother Nature's sun. The sun shines equally on all, on a palace or a prison, on a lotus or a muddy swamp. It does not get attracted to a beautiful garden, nor repelled by a barren desert. Its nature is to give light and warmth, unaffected by what it shines upon. This mirrors the Bhagavad Gita's teaching on overcoming attachment and aversion, raga and dvesha. Just as the sun continues its duty without preference, we refine our minds by not getting entangled in pleasures or displeasures, likes or dislikes. When we act from inner awareness rather than external attractions, we remain steady and free. Daily life, a doctor's joy, relieving pain beyond embarrassment. A boy of 3 years of age could not pass urine throughout the day, got restless, started screaming. He was taken to the pediatrician. The doctor immediately made him stand on the bench, started pressing the abdomen. Suddenly the urine splashed on the face and clothes of the doctor. Seeing this, the father of the boy felt highly embarrassed, but the doctor was supremely happy that the boy was relieved from his suffering. It is also to be noted that in the medical and paramedical profession, attachment toward the patient will not be there, though there will be love and care for the patients. Chapter number 4, Shloka number 20. Tyaktva karmavalam sangha nityatripto nirashrayah karmanyabhi pravrittopi naiva kinjit karoti saha. Renouncing attachment to the fruits of action, ever content and free from dependence, one who remains fully engaged in action yet truly does nothing at all. Engage fully in actions while staying detached. That means from this we cull down. The whole sentence we may not be able to remember. Again you filter it, squeeze it. Engage fully in action while staying detached. Work with total dedication, yet without the weight of expectation. Like a river flowing tirelessly to the ocean, let actions be natural and effortless without craving for rewards. Example, Mother Nature tree. The tree bears fruits, provides shade, gives oxygen tirelessly, yet it never claims ownership or expects anything in return. When its fruit ripen, it lets them go, whether they are enjoyed, wasted or taken away. The tree engages fully in its purpose but remains detached from the results. This reflects Bhagavad Gita's teaching on Karma Yoga, performing action with dedication while surrendering the outcome. Like the tree, we refine our mind by offering our work selflessly, without attachment to success or failure, knowing that true fulfillment lies in the action itself, not in the rewards. Daily life, performing extraordinary work without self-interest. Dasharath Manji of Gayur village near Gaya, Bihar, belonged to a poor family. His wife Falguni Devi needed immediate medical attention. The nearest town with a doctor was 70 kilometers away and could be reached only by traveling around the hill. Due to the distance and ruggedness of the path, he could not save his wife. He determined to ensure no one else dies without timely medical care like his wife. He determined to take up the most difficult task of cutting a path through a mountain single-handed. For 22 years, day and night, he labored and thus reduced the distance from his village to the hospital from 70 kilometers to 15 kilometers. Despite his deep involvement in taking up this most adventurous task, he never let success bind him in pride or failure. He engaged fully in the selfless service, yet remained free from attachment to praise, fame or outcomes, expecting nothing in return. We move to chapter number 5, Shloka number 10. Brahmanyadaya ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्र विबाम्बसो. One who performs action, offering them to the divine and remains unattached, just as a lotus leaf remains untouched by water, is not tainted by sin. Act as an offering to him, free from attachment. When action is surrendered to the divine, work becomes worship. Attachment dissolves. Life turns to be a sacred offering rather than a burden. Mother Nature, Earth. The earth sustains all, providing nourishment, shelter, stability without expectation. It supports life tirelessly, yet remains unattached to the countless activities occurring upon it. Despite being trampled upon, cultivated, or abandoned, it continues to give without claiming ownership. This reflects Bhagavad Gita's teaching on dedicating all action to the divine. Just as the earth does not act for itself, but serves selflessly, we refine our thoughts, words, and deeds by offering everything to Him, free from attachment, ego, or expectation, knowing He is the source and the goal of all attraction. Daily life, singing as an offering. M.S. Subbulakshmi, the legendary Carnatic singer, used to perform grand concerts attended by dignitaries and scholars. As she sang, the audience everywhere gets mesmerized, as it were, and completely lost in the divine beauty of her voice. After the performance, when people showered her with praise, calling her a goddess of music, she remained detached from fame and fortune and repeated that she sang not for any personal gain, but as an expression of surrender to the divine. She lived her life also as an offering to the divine. Chapter number 6, Sloka number 17. Yuktahara viharasya yukta jeshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. For one who is moderate in eating and recreation, balanced in work, regulated in sleep and wakefulness, yoga becomes the destroyer of sorrow. Maintain moderation in activity, food and rest. Extremes destabilize the mind. Balance in eating, working and resting refines both body and mind intellect, leading to inner harmony. Examples, Mother Nature nursery. Just as a flourishing nursery requires the right balance of soil, sand, organic manure and water, our well-being thrives on moderation in all aspects of life. Too much or too little of any one ingredient can hinder the sprouting and growth of seedlings, just as an imbalance in eating, recreation, work and sleep can stunt our personal development. This reflects the Bhagavad Gita's teaching on moderation. Yuktahara viharasya. Maintaining balance in eating, working, resting, living. Just as nature operates in harmony, we refine our habits by neither overindulging nor depriving ourselves, allowing the body and mind to function optimally in service to the divine. Daily life, overcharging smartphones weakens the batteries. Imagine you have a smartphone. If you overcharge it, the battery overheats, weakens over time. Weakens over a time. Okay. If you drain it completely every day, it loses efficiency. The best way to maintain battery life is to charge it moderately, use it wisely, allow it to rest when needed. Our body and mind function the same way. If we overeat, oversleep, overwork, we wear ourselves out. If we deprive ourselves of necessary food, rest and activity, we become weak and deficient. Moderation, like proper phone charging, ensures we stay energized, balanced, productive. Chapter number 7, Shloka number 10. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhivadamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham. O Partha, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intelligence of the intelligent and brilliance of the radiant. What we are trying to understand is recognize the one as the source of all creation. Everything, from the smallest atom to the vast cosmos, originates from the One. Recognizing this removes arrogance and fosters humility. Examples: sound. Imagine a grand symphony playing in an auditorium. The soft melody of the flute, the deep resonance of a drum, the sharp notes of a violin, all blend harmoniously to create beautiful music. Each instrument produces its own distinct sound, yet beneath them all lies a single invisible force, the vibration that makes sound possible. No matter how different the notes may seem, they all arise from the same fundamental principle of vibration. Without this unseen source, there would be no music, no melody, no rhythm, no harmony. Yet, most listeners get lost in the variety of sounds, fail to recognize the one unchanging essence behind them. Similarly, the universe is filled with diverse forms, mountains, rivers, trees, creatures, each expressing itself in a unique way. But beneath this diversity lies one supreme source from which all creation emerges. Just as all music originates from vibration, all existence arises from the One. Recognizing this truth shifts our focus from the ever-changing form to the eternal presence that pervades all. From daily life, gold in ornaments. Gold remains gold, regardless of whether it is shaped into a necklace or a ring or a bracelet. The ornaments may break, melt, or be reshaped, but the gold itself is never destroyed. Similarly, the self is eternal, unchanging, while the body, like the ornament, undergoes birth, change, dissolution. Chapter number 8, Shloka number 5. Antakalecha mamevan smaran mukta kalevaram ya prayadi samadbhavam yadi nastatra samshayaha. One who remembers me alone at the time of death and leaves the body attains my being. Of this there is no doubt. That means remember him in life's final moment, knowing death is inevitable. A crude mind fears death. A refined mind remembers the divine always. So when the final moment arrives, it departs in peace, not panic. Leaf. A leaf, once vibrant and green, eventually turns golden and detaches from the tree when its time comes. It does not resist or fear falling. Instead, it drifts gently to the ground, merging back into the earth that once nourished it. The leaf, the body, represents the temporary nature of the physical existence, and the tree, the divine source, represents the eternal presence from which the leaf arises, finally merges to the tree as mulch. By refining our awareness, we live in remembrance of him. So when our final moment comes, we surrender gracefully like a leaf returning to its source, knowing that only the body perishes while the soul merges with the divine. Freshness is temporary. Imagine preparing a delicious meal with great care, choosing the right ingredients, cooking with patience, finally enjoying its wonderful taste. However, if the dish is left unattended for too long, it starts to spoil. No matter how tasty it was, its freshness is temporary. Similarly, life itself is like a well-prepared dish. No matter how enjoyable or successful it may seem, it is bound to perish with time. Just as we cannot hold on to the taste of food forever, we cannot cling to the body or worldly attachments. Chapter number 9, Shloka number 5. 30. However much we try, Okay, we'll correct it. Sloka. This sloka that was wrongly mentioned. That has to be replaced. Sloka number 9, 5. Nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram bhutavrinnaja bhutasto mamatma bhutabhavana. Yet truly beings do not dwell in me. Behold my divine mystery. Though I sustain all beings and bring them into existence, I remain beyond them. That has been changed, okay? Everything exists in me, yet he transcends all. Like space holding everything and yet remaining untouched. No, only the sloga. Only the sloga. Everything is correct. Everything is correct. Only the English and Sanskrit portion, that is not right, that's all. Only Sanskrit, the transliteration and the Sanskrit. While putting from outside, everything exists in him, yet he transcends all. Like space holding everything and yet remaining untouched, the divine pervades all, yet remains beyond all. Recognizing this shifts perspective from limitation to recognizing this shifts perspective from liberation to vastness. Mother Nature space. Space holds the sun, moon, stars and all creation with it. That is why we are reading the whole thing, to correct. Today only we took the print out. So this is a proofreading. Space holds the sun, I am not stopping. That is why I am not stopping. Vande Bharat speed is going on. And all creation within. Every planet, cloud and breeze move within space, yet space itself remains vast, untouched, unaffected by what it contains. It is ever present, but beyond all that appears within it. This reflects the Bhagavad Gita's teaching, that everything exists in him, yet he is beyond all. Just as space pervades everything, yet remains unbound, the divine pervades all existence while remaining beyond form, time and limitation. By refining our understanding, we see that while all things exist within him, he remains transcendental, infinite, untouched. Knowledge imparted in school is for all students. In a school, knowledge through various texts is freely available. Teachers teach the same objects to all students. However, not every student absorbs or retains that knowledge. Some grasp it deeply, while others may ignore it or forget it. Just as knowledge is made available to all students in the school, but not confined to any particular student, the divine exists in all creation, but remains beyond it, untouched and independent. Chapter number 10, Shloka number 11. तेषामेवानुगम्बार्थम् अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their heart, destroy the darkness born of ignorance by the luminous lamp of knowledge. Grace removes ignorance through knowledge. Darkness vanishes when the sun rises. Ignorance disappears when divine wisdom enters. A refined mind welcomes his grace, allowing light to replace illusion. Example, pure water replaces muddy water. A perfect example from water is a muddy river cleaning up after receiving fresh and pure water. When a river is stagnant or filled with mud and impurities, it remains murky, preventing from seeing its depth clearly. However, when fresh water from rain or a pure upstream source flows into it, the impurities gradually settle or get washed away, leaving the water crystal clear. Similarly, grace is like the fresh and pure water that flows into our hearts, removing the murkiness of ignorance. Just as we don't need to manually pick out every impurity from the river, because the fresh water naturally purifies it, divine knowledge, when received through grace, effortlessly dissolves ignorance, revealing the clarity of our true self. Daily life, gaining vision gives exposure to the outer world. An old man was sitting with his 25-year-old son in the train. Train was about to leave the station. All passengers were settling down in their seat. As train started, the young man was filled with joy and curiosity. As he was sitting by the window, he held out one hand to feel the breeze. He shouted, "Papa, see, all trees are going behind." Suddenly the young man shouted, "Papa, see the pond, the animals, clouds are moving with the train." The couple were watching the young man with curiosity. Suddenly it starts raining and some drops of water touched the young man's hand. His joy knew no bounds. He closed the eyes, shouted again, "Papa, it is raining. Water is touching me. See, Papa." A couple was sitting beside the young man, some correction, okay? And listening, okay? Listening to the conversation, okay? Between father and son. They were little surprised to see a 25 years old young man behaving like a small child. They requested the old man, "Why don't you visit the doctor for some treatment for your son?" Old man replied, "Yes, we are just returning from the hospital. My son has undergone an eye surgery recently and is able to see for the first time in his life." Gaining vision gives exposure to the outer world. Pure grace removes ignorance through knowledge. You know how it is all connected. Chapter number 11, sloga number 19. अनादि मध्यांतम अनंत वीर्यम अनंत बाहूम शशिसूर्य नेत्रम पश्यामि त्वां दीप्त हृदयशक्तम स्वतेजसा विश्वमिदं तपन्तम. I behold you as without beginning, middle or end, infinite in power, with countless arms, the sun, the moon as your eyes, and a blazing fire as your mouth, illuminating the entire universe with your radiance. Recognize His manifestation in life's expression. Every experience, whether joyful or challenging, is a reflection of the divine. Seeing His presence in all refines our vision and deepens our awareness. Example, fire. The fire consumes and transforms whatever enters in it. It's a source of light and illumination. It's a purifier. It is the energy in all actions. Fire is present in digestion, in the warmth of the sun, in the very energy that sustains life. Every action, every expression, every movement of the universe is a manifestation of His infinite power, just as this verse describes Him as illuminating the entire universe. Recognizing His presence in fire in everyday life. When food is cooked, it is through fire, symbolizing His nourishment. When we light a lamp, it dispels darkness, just as His wisdom removes ignorance. When difficulties arise, they burn away impurities, reminding us that He is refining us. When we feel warmth, passion, or life energy, it is His infinite radiance manifesting. Thus fire in all its forms, transforming, illuminating, purifying, energizing, reveals Krishna's presence in every expression of life. Daily life, variety of food. Consider the variety of food we eat. Fruits, grains, vegetables, all nourishing and sustaining. Each meal we consume is ultimately a manifestation of the divine, as He is the source of sunlight, rain, fertility of the earth that produces the food. By seeing His presence in every bite we take, we move from merely eating for pleasure to eating with gratitude and awareness, recognizing that He manifests even in our daily sustenance. Chapter number 12, Shloka number 4. Samniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhaya te papnuvanti mameva sarva bhuta hite rataha. Having restrained all the senses, even-minded everywhere, rejoicing over ever in the welfare of all beings, verily they also come unto me. Rejoicing ever in the welfare of all beings. Life a payback. Life is a mirror. What we give, we receive. A crude mind reacts, a refined mind understands. With patience, humility, devotion, life becomes a joyful offering rather than a burden. Carbon-oxygen cycle. In nature, there is a perfect cycle of selfless giving. Humans exhale carbon dioxide, which plants absorb. In return, plants release oxygen, sustaining all living beings. Neither humans nor plants hold back. They simply fulfill their role in the larger harmony of life. Similarly, a person devoted to the welfare of all lives selflessly, giving and serving without expecting anything in return. Just as plants do not choose whom to give oxygen to, true selflessness embraces all, seeing his presence in every being. World Wide Web for all. Sir Tim Berners-Lee is the British computer scientist who invented the World Wide Web in 1989. He developed the fundamental technologies like HTML, HTTP, URL, etc. that made the web possible. His idea was to create a forum to easily share and access information over the internet. To ensure that the web remained free and open for everyone, Berners-Lee later founded the World Wide Web Consortium in 1994. Normally, people would make use of such innovative idea to earn millions, but he was content in merely serving. Sarva Bhuta Hiterata. Chapter number 13, Shloka number 35. Shloka number? 34. There is no 35 here. In Malayalam it is there. Kshetra kshetratnayorevam antaram jnana chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Viduryanti Te Param. So that also to be corrected, okay? 34. Those who perceive through the eye of wisdom the distinction between the body and the knower of the body, and who understand the process of liberation from material nature, attain the supreme. Distinguish between the body and the knower of the body. The body is temporary, like a wave that rises and falls. The self is eternal, like the ocean beneath. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Sky. The sky remains vast, untouched, while clouds come and go, constantly changing in shape and form. Storms may arise, rains may fall, yet the sky itself remains unaffected, silently witnessing everything that passes through it. This reflects the Bhagavad Gita's teaching on distinguishing between the body and the knower of the body. Just as the sky is ever present, while clouds are temporary, the self is the unchanging witness, while the body and the mind undergo continuous change. By refining our awareness, we recognize that we are not the perishable body, but the eternal knower who observes all experiences without being bound by them. Daily life, screen and movie. A man sat in a theatre, engrossed in a movie. Scenes kept changing. Joy, sorrow, action, and drama unfolded on the screen. But no matter how intense the movie became, the screen itself remained untouched. A wise friend beside him whispered, "The movie will end, but the screen remains." Similarly, your body, thoughts, emotions are like the changing scenes, but the true you, the knower, remains unchanging, ever present. The body undergoes birth, growth, decay, like scenes in the film, but the consciousness that witnesses all it remains untouched, eternal. Recognizing this frees us from identifying with temporary changes. Chapter number 14, Shloka number 5. Sattvam rajastama iti guna pravrti prakriti sambhava nibaddanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Sattva rajas tamas, these qualities born of material nature bind the imperishable self to the body. O my dear, realize how the three gunas bind the spirit to the body. Sattva, purity; rajas, restlessness; tamas, inertia, shape our action. A refined mind consciously moves towards sattva, choosing light over darkness. Chameleon. It changes colors based on its surroundings. When it is calm and safe, it may display bright, neutral colors. Just as a person influenced by sattva radiates wisdom, peace and clarity. When excited or aggressive, the same chameleon turns vibrant red or orange, similar to how rajas binds the spirit through constant action, restlessness, attachment to result. Tamas, inertia. When hiding or feeling threatened, the chameleon blends into darker surroundings, just as tamas keeps one in darkness, laziness or confusion, obscuring the light of the spirit. Yet, it itself is never its colors. Just as the spirit is never truly bound by the gunas, only through self-awareness can one recognize this and transcend their influence. Looking with clear vision through window. A young couple moves into a new neighborhood. The next morning, while they are eating breakfast, the wife sees her neighbor hang the washed clothes outside. That laundry is not very clean, she said. She does not know how to wash correctly. Perhaps she needs better laundry soap. Her husband looked on, but remained silent. Every time her neighbor would hang her wash to dry, the young woman would make the same comments. About 1 month later, the woman was surprised to see a nice clean wash on the line. She said to her husband, "Look, she has learned how to wash correctly. I wonder who taught her this." The husband said, "I got up early this morning and cleaned our windows." So it is with our life. What we see when watching others depends on the purity of the window through which we look. Before we give any criticism, it might be a good idea to check our state of mind, ask ourselves if we are ready to see the good rather than to be looking for something in the person we are about to judge. Chapter number 15, Shloka 18. Oh, and 3 more, we will complete it. Yasmat sharam atitoham akshadavi chottama atosmi loke vedecha prathita purushottama. Since I transcend both the perishable and the imperishable, I am known in the world and in the Vedas as the supreme divine Purushottama. Reflect on the perishable, imperishable, transcendent. The world changes, the soul remains, the supreme transcends both. Recognizing this frees us from attachment and leads to true freedom. A pot. A clay pot is shaped from earth, used for a time, eventually breaks. Yet the clay itself remains, ready to take another form. Beyond both the pot and the clay, the space inside, the pot remains untouched, even when the pot is destroyed. This reflects the Bhagavad Gita's teaching on the perishable, the imperishable, the transcendent. The pot, perishable, represents the body, which is temporary, subject to change. The clay, imperishable, represents the soul, which remains even as forms changes. The space, transcendent, represents the supreme, beyond both body and soul, ever present, unchanging. By refining our understanding, we detach from the perishable body, recognize the eternal self, surrender to the transcendental truth which is beyond all forms. Changing stages in life, the individual and the power behind. A person passes through childhood, youth, old age, each stage constantly changing. The body, the appearance, abilities to transform over time. This represents the perishable nature of the physical form. However, throughout these changes, the sense of I, the feeling of individuality remains unbroken. As a child, youth, or elderly person, one still refers to oneself as I. This unchanging sense of identity represents the imperishable aspect of the self. Beyond both the changing body and the unbroken sense of individuality is the transcendent reality, the pure self, which is beyond all change, even beyond the sense of I. It is the eternal witness, untouched by birth, growth, or decay. Chapter number 16, sloga number 5. Devi Sambad Vimokshaya. Nibandhaya Asuri Mata Mashuta Sambatam Devim Apijadosi Pandava. The divine qualities lead to liberation, while the demonic tendencies bind to bondage. Grieve not, O Pandava, for you are born with divine virtues. Focus on uplifting forces. Guard against those pull us down. Noble virtues elevate. Negativity drags us down. A refined mind chooses truth, compassion, self-discipline over greed, anger, and arrogance. Lotus. The lotus grows in muddy waters, yet it rises above, untouched by the dirt below. It turns toward the sun, drawing energy from its light while keeping its petal free from the impurities surrounding it. Uplifting forces like the sun's light represent wisdom, devotion, noble company, help us rise higher in life, and pulling down forces like the muddy water represent ignorance, negative influence, and attachment that try to keep us bound. By refining our awareness, we learn to absorb the light of divine wisdom while remaining untouched by lower tendencies, just like the lotus that blooms in purity despite its surroundings. Removal of weeds for healthy growth of a plant. For a plant to grow strong and healthy, it needs sunlight, water, nutrients. However, if weeds grow around it, they compete for the same resources, weakening the plant. Regularly removing weeds ensures the plant's unhindered growth. Similarly, in life, positive thoughts, uplifting company, noble actions nourish our spiritual growth, but negative influences, distractions, harmful habits act like weeds, draining our energy, pulling us down. Just as a gardener carefully tends to a plant, we must consciously nurture uplifting forces and remove anything that hinders our progress. This disciplined effort ensures inner growth and steady spiritual growth. Chapter number 17, sloga number 16. Manaprasada saumyatvam maunamatma vinigraha bhava samshuddhiritte tapo manasam uchyate. Serenity of mind, gentleness, silence, self-discipline, purity of thought, these are called the austerities of the mind. Cultivate inner silence for discipline. A noisy mind leads to chaos. Silence refines thoughts. When the mind is disciplined, clarity emerges, actions become precise, purposeful. Mountain. A mountain stands tall and firm, unaffected by the storms, winds, passing season. Though life may bustle around it, the mountain remains in deep silence, steady, unwavering in its presence. Silence, like the mountain stillness, represents self-control, introspection, detachment from distraction. Noise represents, like external disturbance, represents restless thoughts, impulses, worldly distraction, shake inner silence. By refining our awareness, we cultivate inner silence, a mind that is disciplined, focused, unshaken by external situations, just like the mountain that remains steadfast in all conditions. Sober nature of the librarian. In a busy library, the librarian maintains an atmosphere of silence. Despite the movement of people, the rustling of pages, occasional whispers, they remain calm and composed. They ensuring the space remains peaceful for all. They do not react to every small disturbance. Do not react to every small disturbance, but instead cultivate stillness within, setting the tone for the entire environment. Similarly, inner silence is a discipline. It is not about the absence of external noise, but about mastering one's reactions, thoughts, impulses. When one cultivates inner stillness, distractions lose their power, clarity of mind naturally flows. Chapter number 18, sloga number 62. तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्ति स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्. Surrender yourself completely to Him alone, O Bharata. With all your being, by His grace, you will attain supreme peace and the eternal abode. Surrender dissolves the ego and realizing oneness with Him. Ego is a wall. Surrender is the doorway. When I dissolves, the divine flows in. The highest refinement is realizing that I am His, He is all. River and ocean. A river loses its individual identity when it merges into the ocean, but in reality it does not perish. Instead, it expands into the vastness of the ocean, becoming one with it. Before surrender, the river clings to its individuality, just as a person holds on to the ego, attachments, doership. As the river nears the ocean, it loses control over its direction, much like how a seeker gradually lets go of personal desires, surrender to the divine will. Upon merging, the river transcends its boundaries, just as one who surrenders realizes their oneness with the Supreme beyond personal identity. Surrender in chapter number 18 is not about weakness, but about refinement. Transforming the me and me, this can come in the last, this particular, into complete trust in Krishna. Just as the river's journey is a process of purification before it merges into the ocean, surrender requires refining thoughts, words and deeds to align with the divine will. Daily life, a flower's final offering to its creator. A flower does not hold back its fragrance, color or beauty. It gives itself completely to the gardener who nurtured it. Similarly, true surrender is offering every thought, word or deed to the divine without reservation, just as a flower does not choose whom to share its fragrance with, but gives freely. This aligns perfectly with dedicating all activities to Him in one's spiritual path. A life lived in such surrender is naturally filled with peace, joy and blessedness, because there is no burden of personal ownership, only a constant flow of giving and offering. Hari Om Tat Sat. With a spirit of inquiry and reflection, countless hidden gems will emerge if we continue to pursue this process of identifying shlokas and relevant examples, so that over a period of time, the Gita will become a manual illuminating our path to inner refinement. When our minds undergo this feeling of this refining transformation, we naturally live and act as members of a world brotherhood, fostering harmony and unity in thought, word and deed. Absence of otherness is the final outcome of the refinement of the mind, which is authenticated by the Maha Upanishads, which says, Ayam nija parovedi gananam laguchedasam udara jaridanam tu vasudaiva kutumbakam. Who discriminates, the one is a friend, the other one is a stranger, are people with petty mind. People with evolved consciousness, refined consciousness, embrace the entire world as their own family. May we be blessed with the sincerity to traverse this journey, becoming aware of His presence behind all our thoughts, words and deeds. That is how this work ends now. So our request is, we will try to go tomorrow. What should we do? You can suggest. Our work is over, no? This project is over now. Eh? The another book, to get this, we worked upon the Gita book, chapter by chapter. That also we will take it up because it's a proofreading also is there. And then I request that before the next Gita Jayanti day, everyone may try to select one shloka from each chapter. That means one has to do 18 chapters. If 50 people join together, even if there are duplications, we will be able to cover the entire 700 slokas. We 2-3 people cannot do it. There is a limitation. But we can definitely try our best in going through what you have done. And wherever it is necessary, we will try our level best to make it as effective as possible. But from your part, please share this with all your friends. This copy also will be sent to you after this correction, to all of you by email. We are also trying to get a few copies printed, that's all. So then all of you, your friends, suppose you are in a family, 2 or 3 people join together and make a list. And in order that the same sloga is not repeated, probably even if it is repeated, it's all right. Then after some time we will be able to identify which is not touched. But what is more important is our effort to travel along with the theme. The refinement process will take place, definite, 100%. Please think over it, not merely hearing. Because by December next, when we go nearer to the Gita Jayanti day, we make it as a target, As many friends as possible, we will also try to spread this idea to our near and dear ones. And request everybody to take it up. If possible, we will get it translated so that in different languages it can come, not necessarily in English. In whatever language you are comfortable with. Later on we can translate it. But what is needed is to cover at least a major portion of the 700. This is the greatest homage we can pay to Mother Gita. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody, Hari Om.
Yes, Swamiji, I did that simultaneously. Only the sloka has to be. Yes. Yes, Swamiji. We just pick the new page on top.
Swamiji, we will get all this, all of us will get this, no? What you read today.
Everyone will get.
All of us want what you read today.
That you will get it, no? When she completes it, you will get it.
No, but we want copy of
Hard copy.